Hi-ho, Amelia here, with the episode you've all been waiting for. Our very special Halloween special! Welcome to Pitney and Amelia's Bitchin' Boutique!
We may be awful, but
we're right! Okay, let's get started. So, we're featuring segments from some of the many Halloween episodes we've made over the years. You know, some years we even did 2 Halloween episodes because we're that way. So, here's a clip from our October 13th, 2017 episode, Triskadekamania.
I do have 2 other Friday the 13th things to tell you about.
Okay.
But we're not going to talk about the movies.
Okay.
Because I love them, you don't.
Well,
and
you know.
They're all old, and they've all been seen by anybody that wants to see them a million times, and so we don't need to talk about that. But, related to the movies, I have discovered... There is not only Jason Voorhees fan fiction... But there is a lot of Jason Voorhees adult fan fiction, including slash fiction. And there's also sensual Jason Voorhees fan art.
No.
Yes.
No. Why?
So, picture...
Oh my god.
A fan woman...
Oh.
Aggressively pressing her breasts up against Jason's chest with a leg up.
Oh my.
With his hockey mask and his, putrefied zombie skull underneath. Yeah, it's very, very weird.
Wow! Wow.
You know, and one of the stories was kind of, one of the fan fiction stories, although it gets kind of like a weird sexual thing. But this girl goes off on a revenge trip for people that have abused her. And somehow Jason somehow knows or somehow finds out and comes to her defense to help kill her abusers. And then they have sex.
Wow. I'm just processing this.
And then there's stories like, say, a survivor from a movie... Okay, in real life, the woman would be terrified, or the man, whoever, would be terrified.
Like the final girl or whatever.
And would be totally fucked up for the rest of their lives, in real life.
Right, if something like that actually happened,
and they would never get over it. But there's a lot of these fan fictions are so-and-so from Friday the 13th Part 4 that we saw for 2 seconds.
Some auxiliary character.
Yeah, somehow goes back to
Camp Crystal Lake
because she's so turned on and she really wants to find Jason and fuck him.
Why?
There's several stories like that.
I mean, okay. Let me just... Okay, hang on. Okay, so... Even if you saw his face, it'd be a disgusting, rotted face. So there isn't even that. So you have a hockey mask... And that, coveralls thing. So someone is looking at that and going, damn, I want to get with that.
Yes.
And the thing about fan fiction, it's never that, I'm just imagining that someone would. It's always that the person writing the story wants to, because otherwise they wouldn't write that.
Oh, yeah. And then there's, S&M torture stories, because that's real. That's always so hot.
Oh,
and there is actual gay fan fiction about Jason and various fans. But the most fascinating thing, I didn't read it, but there is a Michael Myers.
I was gonna ask.
And Jason. Fucking story.
Really?
But there's also one
Do they take their masks off, though?
I don't know, about Jason and Freddy in hell. Because they met in hell.
Right, okay.
And it involves...
It
involves Freddy chasing Jason around with a boner. and Jason wanting to wonder what the hell is going on because there's no women around. And apparently it takes some coercion, but they eventually get together and get it on.
Oh my god!
But yes, but Freddy is like chasing Jason around hell with a boner.
Oh my god! Wow!
Yep.
Wow. And I thought Full House fan fiction was frightening. The day I accidentally stumbled upon that.
And it's weird because it's like, Jason he's gross.
Right.
He's also like putrefied by the lake.
Right.
He's been under the lake putrefying for years before he comes back. And then he was like completely decayed in a grave and then brought back to life. So he's a supernatural corpse who's been rotted in a lake and decayed completely, brought back.
Right.
And he's like, as the movies go on, his mask is like obviously affixed to his face by like his facial slime.
Right, it's like,
so,
stuck.
What on earth makes that even remotely sexy? Like Michael Myers, not that I am turned on by him, but at least there's a man under there.
At least it's a human that's alive.
And it's not some putrefied, zombie, deformed, hideous thing. You know what I mean? It just defies everything, but it's kind of wonderful. But I want there to be like a comic book version, though, of Freddy chasing Jason around with a boner.
It is the internet. Are you sure? Are you sure it doesn't already exist? Hilarious and disgusting, just like we like it. So, we're staying in 2017 a bit longer, and we've got so many clips from our episode Danse Macabre that it's practically the whole damn thing. But this episode was a definite favorite. Witches and pumpkins and bats. Oh my! I'm just gonna let all these play. Okay, if I say a woman with a broomstick, wearing a tall pointy hat, brewing something in a cauldron, and a cat by her side, what am I talking about?
Clearly a witch. Or a Halloween witch, at least.
Well, you would think that, but it's very interesting historically why we started thinking that that's what witches looked like. Have you ever heard of an alewife?
No.
I hadn't either until I saw this article, and I'm so obsessed with it now because it's so interesting. So back in like medieval times, beer, which was like an extremely common drink because water was generally not drinkable, so you had to do a lot of boiling and things like that. Beer was primarily made by women because if you think about it, it's a kitchen thing. It's, it's part of, it's combining ingredients, it's cooking in a cauldron, it's, this kind of stuff. You're boiling and mixing things. And generally, because it's a cooking kind of a thing, it fell to women. And because it was something that only women knew about, like mothers would pass the knowledge of how to make beer onto their daughters. You would kind of involve your kids in the making of your beer. And so it was something that either while the husband was away doing whatever his job is, or if the husband, like if she was a widow with children, it was something that a man didn't have to be around to do.
Oh, okay.
But eventually, when women got really good at it, and you could make more than just your family needed, so it was something that you could sell. And it made it possible for women to become somewhat financially independent.
Shameful.
Even a woman who didn't have a man could support herself by selling beer. And eventually, men didn't like it. Any kind of financial power or freedom for a woman, that's not acceptable to men.
And I was curious when you were saying this, was there any indication in the article, were the women allowed to drink the beer, or it was only men?
Oh, well, women definitely drank it because it was something that was the very common drink.
Okay.
But because women had, men, when you get home, you're done working, you can drink as much as you want because you don't have anything else to do. Women would generally not drink as much as men would because they weren't done working yet, because their work was done in the home. Which goes along with around the same time of let's be suspicious of things that women are doing that men don't have anything to do with, because if it's a woman thing and it's mysterious, it's obviously bad because they're women.
Okay.
And if you start to see that as a dangerous thing, then it becomes they're brewing these potions that intoxicate us and control us and all this other shit. So basically it started around the time when women started becoming more powerful because they controlled the beer, was around the same time that men started accusing women of being witches. And like the church, being a very male-oriented thing, was getting involved in all that because once evil comes into play, but like anything.
Well, the church has always considered drunkenness to be an evil too.
Oh, sure.
So I'm sure that they illogically blamed the women for the men all being a bunch of drunkards.
Right.
Because okay.
But because men are in charge of what the church say, because men are the church, it, like everything else, it's hard to blame the church when it's really men that are the problem. Because men who can't give up even the tiniest little bit of control over the way the world works, heaven forbid a woman be self-sufficient. But going back to the witch thing, in terms of like the way the things that we consider to be what a witch is, the things that define a witch, all these things about alewives, it's really strange because like the broomstick, for example, the broomstick being a symbol of like domesticity and women's work became a symbol for beer. Like if your beer was done, you would hang your broomstick above the door.
Oh,
and a lot of,
to let people know they could come in and buy.
Right, that the beer was ready to go. And a lot of taverns and stuff used to have like brooms, and broomsticks were part of like a signage for taverns and stuff early on because of that. And only because it was a very domestic female thing. And then when you get into the hats, in medieval times, the tall pointy hats were kind of a thing. But because, well, part of why the tall pointy hat was a thing is because it was a social status thing, and you wanted people from a long distance away to be able to see what your social status was.
Oh, okay.
They didn't have to be near you to see that you were above them. So because women of a certain status were wearing tall hats, alewives started doing that, and the tall conical black hat became a thing because that way you could always spot an alewife in the crowd.
Oh, so you would know where to go to buy your beer.
You would. It was like a very subtle form of advertising that the men always knew where they could find the beer because you would just look for the hat. And then the cat thing, that came about because alewives frequently had cats, because when you're dealing with grains all the time, if your house or shed or barn or whatever is filled with grain all the time because you're brewing beer, you're going to need to have cats around because you're going to...
Because of the rats.
Because of all the rats, exactly. And, and obviously you're brewing in a cauldron, and what you're brewing is something that men don't know what it is. Because heaven forbid anything be passed down matrilineally through a society, especially a society that's for the most part illiterate, so nothing's written down. So men they just plain do not know and cannot find out, because why would women tell you? So I
think really interesting.
This whole idea of beer, I mean, I don't know why it never occurred to me before that the brewing of beer wouldn't be a man's thing. And of course now, you don't even think of women when you think of brewing beer. It's such a man's thing to do.
Yeah, it seems totally manly now.
You know, when you think of someone having, you know, doing the home brew thing, you never think of a woman. Because, of course, beer is a dude thing. But it totally makes sense that because it's cooking, basically, it's, you know, it's cooking and chemistry, so of course that's a woman thing.
I wonder if it was probably horrible, huh? Who knows?
I don't know. It would probably, I mean, I guess depending on where you lived, like if you lived in a place where, you know, where hops grew better, it would be hoppier there.
Oh, that's true.
So that would be good because it was hoppy. For those of us that like hoppiness.
I do like hoppiness, but I've never had a home-brewed beer that I didn't think was disgusting.
I've never had one. I've had homemade mead, but I've never had homemade beer.
I've had that too, and oh no, I don't like mead anyway.
See, I don't have anything to compare other
I don't like mead anyway, but
I've
had, and this guy that I worked with at the Renaissance Festival, he made this stuff that he called beer that he would make.
Right.
And he also comes out to Kerrville, and sometimes he brings this concoction, but he doesn't like hops. He doesn't use hops.
Like at all?
So this concoction that he calls beer is like this...
It's like wheat and yeast?
This, like, frighteningly alcoholic, bizarre... concoction that can hardly even be described other than frightening. It's not beer.
Like a grain alcohol, like an Everclear almost?
I don't know what it is, but it's nasty.
Yeah, because if beer doesn't smell a little bit like a barn, like a variety of grains, then it's not fucking beer.
Well, because you know me, I like the double hop, the triple hop, you know.
Yeah. If it's not hoppy, it ain't beer.
Oh, I know, because and I hate any of like the Budweiser, the Miller, the Michelob. I don't like any of that stuff.
What was the joke? It's Budweiser is like having sex in a canoe. It's fucking close to water.
Yes.
So it turns out that we have at least a few listeners who have found us rather inspiring to make them be more adventurous in their kitchens, and they're very curious about things that we cook, and they want a little more instruction from us, which is pretty fabulous
and fascinating.
Yes, we never thought that would happen. So for them and for the rest of you, we are also debuting a new segment this month called Bitchin' in the Kitchen.
Bitchin' in the kitchen or crying in the bedroom all night.
We had a request from a listener for our Halloween episode to talk about pumpkin recipes.
Oh, yay.
Now you know I make excellent pumpkin soup.
Yes, you do.
Because we had a fabulous, glamorous, sit-down, formal Halloween dinner that was like the most amazing dinner ever served. And the first course, well, actually, I guess the first course was the brain-shaped chicken Nivernais with crackers.
Oh, yes. Yes.
But then the soup course was my pumpkin soup, but we served it cold.
We served it served it in mini pumpkins.
In mini pumpkins. Well, pie pumpkins, because I guess mini pumpkins are the teens.
Fabulous.
It was very good. But the way pumpkin soup is actually incredibly easy to make, especially if you have a stick blender. If you don't have a stick blender, you can use a regular blender, but you would have to be like pouring soup after you've cooked it for a while into a blender. I would recommend everyone should have a stick blender, an immersion blender.
I hate cleaning a blender.
I know.
So I'd rather have things lumpy than clean the blender.
Oh, I know. And immersion blenders are fucking fabulous anyway, and because you get to stick it in and go.
Yeah.
So you put your pot on the stove, and I would recommend the recipe that I used to create my recipe called for a regular potato. I prefer going sweet potato because as long as we're going vitamin A and orange, let's go all the way with that. So you bake a sweet potato and then you take it out and you get it all out of the skin and you mush it in a pot and you take a can of pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling, but pumpkin. Mm-hmm. And so you're heating that up and you pour a little milk in there to get it liquidy. You figure out how liquidy you want it. You're using your stick blender to get it creamy, to make sure it's really blended, and you season to taste. I mean, it's literally that easy, you guys. I personally will throw a stick of butter in there because why wouldn't you do that? And if you want to use, say, heavy cream or something instead of using milk, go for it. Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? Every time something calls for cream, I go all the way to heavy whipping cream. Because why wouldn't you? Yes. If the point is for something to be creamy, go creamy by the way, with it. Yes.
Like, okay, so like the scalloped potatoes in the package, how it says, like, you know, you mix half a cup of milk with a cup and a half of water.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
Fuck water.
You add like 1 cup of water and a cup of heavy cream.
Oh, yeah.
And then half a stick of butter, and then you mix it all together and bake them.
Right.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I know. It's like if water is an ingredient, replace it with butter.
Or cream. Yes.
Exactly.
Replace it with butter or cream.
Why would you fuck around by adding water to something that's just
or say
stupid?
Like, you're making the corn muffins and there's the optional 2 tablespoons of oil. Fuck that. Put 4 tablespoons of butter.
Exactly.
Anyway, pumpkin.
So that's the pumpkin soup. But just sort of a general cooking tip. So then now the reason why I said don't use pumpkin pie filling is because it already has it spiced. And if you go with regular pumpkin, you can decide, do you want to go in a cinnamon direction? Do you want to go in a nutmeg direction? Yeah, because
the pumpkin pie filling also has like sweetness, and you don't necessarily want that
It's got like Caro syrup. Now there is another recipe that I'm going to discuss that has pumpkin pie filling in it, but that's your dessert recipe. This is a full meal thing. So you have your pumpkin soup. Now I personally go a little wintry, go a little fall. Things like allspice, things like cloves, things like cinnamon. You cannot go wrong. Just play with it. It's fucking fabulous.
And don't be afraid of salt.
Do not be afraid of salt.
People are always afraid of salt, and that's why things taste like shit.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's your soup. And you can serve it, you can cook it ahead of time and reheat it. You can serve it cold. You can drink it like it's a fucking smoothie. Your skin will clear up. It has got so many vitamins in it. It's so good for you. It's fantastic.
But let me tell you one thing before we're on the subject. One of my pet peeves, there's many.
I think people have figured that out.
But one of my pet peeves is this. I'm a huge fan of Starbucks in general.
Oh, right? I know where you're going. Yes.
But I hate this fucking yuppie obsession with goddamn pumpkin spice latte.
Oh my God.
And it's no longer even pumpkin spice latte. Now they have signs in the Starbucks. The PSL is here.
Oh, gross! Oh,
so
no!
So now it's the PSL.
Fucking white people.
And oh my God. Anyway, okay.
Oh, and pumpkins, and when they say pumpkin spice, they mean nutmeg cinnamon. They don't mean pumpkin. They're not talking about pumpkin. They're talking about shit you'd put in pumpkin pie. Oh my God.
Yes,
and
anyway.
Why would you put that in coffee? It doesn't make sense.
And it's PSL.
PSL.
Very Noslin-esque.
It's a little Egyptian lover if you think about it.
Yes.
DSL. Ooh, maybe we need to do a song parody at some point.
Oh my God.
Give
Talking
me those.
About those PSLs.
Oh my God. Okay. So, next thing.
Pumpkin sucking lips.
That's what white women have in their yoga pants. All right. Now, so... I didn't mean to say their lips were in their yoga pants, but they kind of are, aren't they? Anyway, so my other thing, you can look this up online. It came from, I think, Epicurious, originally. It's called Pumpkin Stuffed with Everything Good.
Ooh.
That automatically is amazing. So, what you're doing is you're getting like a pie pumpkin. I would not go bigger than that because it is making an awful lot of food. So, you cut the top off, you scoop it out, and now you have just all the pumpkin meat in there. And it talks about in the recipe, like using stale bread and using, mincing some garlic and cutting up some onions. Fuck that. Buy yourself a bag of garlic and onion croutons.
Ooh.
You throw those in there. You can dice up some apple. You can throw in some dried cranberries.
Ooh.
You can, and my favorite things to add, bacon, including all the fat that cooks off the bacon. Pour that into that. Also, pour some cream in there because it needs some liquid. You can do all kinds of other stuff. You can, I like to maybe sometimes finely chop some shallots because I'm a big fan of the shallot.
You may need to make this when you come to my house next weekend.
Maybe. It's actually better left over. I'll say, well, pie pumpkins should be coming out now because they're not around all year. I'll look and see if I can find a good pumpkin. So then you stuff all that stuff into the pumpkin. And then ideally you will stick the top back on the pumpkin before you put it in the oven to bake it. But sometimes, depending on the shape of your pumpkin, because pie pumpkins can be like tall, they can be wide. Try and go for a wider one because it's easier, because basically what's going to happen is as you cook it, it's going to kind of collapse in on itself a little bit. And the recipe on the Epicurious site will tell you how long to bake it. I forget. But what you're going to do, and it also suggests that you serve it like sliced, and that's stupid. What you're going to do is you're going to, when you take it out, let it cool just a little bit so you can touch it on the outside. You get you a big spoon, and you go in there, and you start stirring all that shit around, and you scrape the inside of the pumpkin.
And then use the shell as a bowl.
Well, it's going to be really flabby and mushy. That's why you need to be able to touch the side a little bit, because you don't want to poke a hole. And then you scoop that. You can scoop it out of there directly and serve it that way, but it's going to be kind of gross. Or you can just scoop it into a bowl. This is another thing that is actually better left over and reheated. Like many foods.
Oh, I'm sure, because all those flavors together.
It is.
Oh, I want it.
People freak out. They're like, I don't understand what this is. But oh my god. And I have read variations on this recipe where people stuff it with nothing but meat.
Ooh,
I haven't tried that.
Good.
But imagine like ground sausage and bacon and stuff in there. But I'm a big believer in the pumpkin stuffed with everything good. And really, how can you go wrong?
Well, that sounds fabulous.
Oh my god. And then the other thing, the thing that involves a can of pumpkin pie filling, easiest dessert in the world. Why would you not do this? Box of chocolate cake mix, preferably Devil's Food, something rich, something really good. Can of pumpkin pie filling. Dump them both in a bowl, stir it up. You don't need to put anything else in there. Bake it.
Ooh.
You can make muffins. You can make a cake. You can make whatever. It is chocolate and pumpkin pie.
No eggs, no nothing.
Because it's got the pumpkin pie filling has enough moisture and everything else going on in it that it doesn't need anything else.
Oh.
And the combination of the pumpkin and the spices and all the shit that goes into pie filling and the chocolate cake mix. Heaven.
That sounds good.
Heaven.
And then you can lie and say that you made it with fresh pumpkin and it's all this fancy stuff.
Exactly.
Yes.
And see, it's the only acceptable use outside of pumpkin pie for pumpkin spice.
Yes.
It's the only acceptable use. And there's your whole dinner. You have your soup course, you have your side dish, and you have your dessert.
That's awesome.
Delicious.
That's awesome. Now, I've never cooked with pumpkin, which is weird considering that I've cooked an awful lot of squash and I love squash.
Right.
So
oh, yeah.
Why have I never cooked pumpkin? I don't know. But I've always roasted the seeds. From jack-o'-lanterns, I always roast the seeds.
I've always had bad luck with that. I don't know why they always end up inedible when I try.
Oh, really?
What's your magic?
I just cover them with salt.
Yeah.
And put a little butter on the bottom of the pan, or line it with foil and do a little butter. Mm-hmm. And then I just bake them at a really low temperature for a long time.
Maybe I'm not cooking them long enough. Maybe that's the problem.
And
they always end up like dried out, but still somehow inedible.
Oh, maybe I
like
don't know.
Like they're very splintery and they stab me in the gums. Kind of inedible.
Yeah, I've always had luck. I don't know.
I've forced
if
myself to eat them.
If you're doing them too short or too long, I don't know.
I don't know.
But I just kind of nibble as I go, and then I judge how I like it. But I learned last year, salt and sprinkle them with garam masala, and that's really good.
Oh my god!
And I learned that last year just thinking I would try it, and it was awesome.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Ooh.
So,
anyway. I'm obsessed. Ooh.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yay!
There you go.
Yay! And there's your appetizer course. There's your pre-dinner appetizer.
So yay pumpkins!
Yay pumpkins!
Looking around the internet, trying to find interesting things, and I got intrigued by reading about bats. And how bats are associated with Halloween, because I mean, despite all the you hear about. Witches using weird bat powder or something, and
right,
but it's not. I didn't
bat wing things.
Yeah, and even though I'm a practitioner of modern witchcraft, I don't think about bats, and I
the Eye of Newt
don't
kind
use
of stuff.
Bats. But anyway, so I just thought that it was basically that weird superstitious witch stuff, and the whole Bram Stoker's Dracula turning into a bat because...
right.
And I thought that was it, but there's actually a little more to it than that, and I thought it was sort of interesting.
Because Dracula really doesn't have anything to do with Halloween either, but because... whether it's just the American psyche or whatever, that anything having to do with horror is automatically associated with Halloween.
Yeah. And I guess Dracula is, dark and creepy or whatever, which I guess he is.
Yeah, but yeah.
But, it's because of the, when I was reading, too, about the actual vampire bats, and I learned there's 1,200 species of bats.
Really?
And only 3 of them are vampire bats.
And in bat world, what does it mean they actually bite and suck blood out of people or animals?
Apparently their teeth are real, razor sharp.
Okay.
And they go, on the biggest part of big animals, game animal kind of things.
Oh, okay.
And they'll just make a little incision with their teeth and then lick up the blood.
Wow.
As it flows.
That's really... I had no idea.
Yeah. But they only drink a tablespoon of blood a day.
That's not very much.
So the whole,
So it's not like that's their diet.
Yeah.
It's just a snack?
It's the whole that they're gonna suck you dry and die like Dracula would is just not true.
It's not like they're a chupacabra.
Yeah. But it does make sort of intriguing sense to merge that with Dracula.
With the idea of a human vampire.
And it is kind of cool to have vampires turn into bats and have a way of getting around because it's they're nocturnal and
yeah. Where do vampire bats live?
Central and South America.
Oh, so it's not necessarily like the Transylvania region of the Dracula thing.
Yeah. It's just Central and South America that they live. Something I thought was fascinating, and I forgot about this until I read about it in reading a bunch of different Halloween stuff. But do you remember there was a whole thing about, bats getting in people's hair?
Oh, totally.
Totally hadn't thought about that in years.
I only think about it because we have so many bats in Austin, so it comes... Things like people who freak out around bats, that's the kind of thing that comes up a lot.
But the reason why that's become a thing, it was because in medieval times, people stunk and they didn't bathe.
Of course.
And they didn't shampoo their hair regularly.
Right.
And it was a fad for women to bunch up, their greasy, filthy hair and kind of pull it up and make it kind of poofy and big on top to keep it off for heat. purposes.
Oh.
And apparently, because their body odor and their hair was so foul, that insects would fly around the filthy hair. And bats would come to eat the insects going around the hair.
Oh my god, that is fabulous.
Yes.
That is so... Oh my god. Wow.
It's kind of cool, but yes, apparently that's where the myth of the bats and the hair thing started.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so I thought that was pretty fabulous when I read about that.
Oh god, that's amazing.
And,
Ooh god, what if you had lice or something? I wonder if they would... well, maybe they don't do lice because they have to get on you to get them.
Yeah, and then I guess and then this kind of goes into two things, but another reason why they're associated with Halloween is because when people first started, bringing like the different pagan Sabbats here to the Americas.
Right.
They would have big bonfires on Samhain.
Okay.
And... of course, the bonfires and the light would attract the insects.
Which would attract the bats,
and the bats would come, but also in the northern states, all the bats start migrating down here to where it's hot.
Right.
So that starts at the end of September.
Okay.
And so around Halloween time or Samhain time...
where you see the big groups of
there's a lot of bat action going on in addition to the bats that live here all year.
Okay.
And so they coincidentally come around this time, and that's why.
Well, and I guess if you're not... I mean, because in Austin, we're just so accustomed to huge swarms of bats.
Oh, yeah,
because we go out of our way to watch them... wake up at night and fly and have their first poop of the night.
Oh, it's cool because
there's millions of them under that bridge.
There's like a whole clouds of them and it never ends. It's really cool.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently there's some place in San Antonio, too, that has them.
Oh, I heard there's a cave somewhere. It's not in the city.
Yeah, I haven't gone to see them yet.
Yeah, I can't remember where I heard about that, but it's another really big colony. But our colony, because it's actually in the middle of the city and underneath a major bridge that goes into downtown, so it's an urban colony as opposed to like a out in the woods somewhere colony. But there used to be, it was by the old place that used to be Spaghetti Warehouse, so it was like 4th and what is that, Guadalupe?
Oh,
it's not important.
I don't remember. Yeah,
they had a parking lot like just south of that building, and it was really, really well lit, and so there were always a lot of bugs flying around. So if you like, let's say if you went to the restaurant and then you were hanging out in the parking lot like before you got in your cars to leave, if you paid attention, you would notice that there were bats just over your head, swirling around and getting all those bugs.
I think they're cool.
I love them. And then sometimes they would fly and they would go on the brick wall right there and they would grab on and then they would do this little scoochy move and they would go like in a crevice. And it was, I would stand there for like 20 minutes just watching them land on the wall and go scoochy. Because they're cute. It's cool.
They're totally cute. And then part of it, I guess maybe people got freaked out because, they go in caves and they go in dark places and they come out at night.
And it's not at nighttime,
and that's people.
But, and because we can't see at night, I guess it's something flying around. Well, I guess if you're the disgusting person with flies flying around your head, you would have a reason to be concerned.
But I think that's so fabulous.
I know.
But then when I was like, reading more, I found like there's a lot of, I picked like the few of the most intriguing.
Okay.
But there is a lot of like folklore, witchy things that have to do with bats.
Oh, okay.
Again, this doesn't come into my cosmology, so this was all new to me, really. But I thought it was really interesting, but I'm just going to read because I don't know.
Okay.
But one that in ancient Greece and Rome, an engraved figure of a bat placed under a pillow can prevent sleep.
Like to keep you from sleeping?
To keep you from sleeping. Or maybe if you were trying to drive your spouse crazy and deprive them of sleep or something. I don't know why you would want to do this.
Wow.
But apparently an engraved figure of a bat placed under the pillow will prevent you from sleeping.
Okay.
And completely not true, but very interesting. Wearing the left eye of a bat somewhere on your person can make you invisible.
Well, I don't see why that wouldn't be true.
It would be really cool if it was true, but I have doubts, but I don't know. But I'm not going to go kill a bat to find out.
What if you strung a whole bunch of them together and made a cloak of invisibility out of them?
Oh my God. No, I love this one.
That's so specific. And of course, the left eye being the sinister eye, of course.
So weird, but my God, I love this. Okay.
Oh God.
If you get a bat heart, just the heart, and you bind it around somewhere on your arm with red thread, it will make you unnaturally lucky in card games.
That's very specific. Wow, I wonder what the connection is there.
I don't know, but it's so fucking weird. Okay, and then I think that was from like a specific place in Germany that one came from.
Okay.
And if you wash your face in bat blood,
ew,
you will be able to see in the dark.
Okay.
Yeah. If you mix bat blood in yours or a partner's drink, it will make you more sexually passionate.
Well, I guess I don't know. What are their iron levels? I don't know.
So, that's supposedly, weird. But then they're also known to carry rabies, so it's probably not a good idea to drink bat blood. But anyway.
Yeah. And then wouldn't the alcohol kill it if you put it into alcohol?
You would think, but I'm not going to drink bat blood. But that's interesting.
But if you drank the left eye of a bat, would you become invisible for the rest of your life?
I don't know if you took it internally. I don't you take it like a pill. Or
would it eventually pass through you and then all of a sudden you'd appear again?
I don't know.
We need to try this.
Yeah, and there's and I don't remember what it was because I didn't write it down, but there was also something, I don't know how you would do this, but there was something about powdered bat wing.
Okay.
So I guess you would dry it and grind it, and I think it had to do with invisibility, but it was really weird. But then something that was sort of interesting is like gypsies, they see bats as good luck.
Okay.
So, as opposed to like more, white people seem to see it as bad luck.
Right.
But they see gypsies as good luck, and if they find, find dead bats, they'll make amulets out of the bones.
Okay.
And wear them, and it's supposed to bring good luck, and they can, they also sell them in their little, gypsy camps or whatever. Or they used to did. Who knows what they do anymore.
Right. Huh.
But apparently, and I don't know all the details of it, you can read about it if you're interested, because it was too complicated for me to understand. But bats are really active in Mayan cosmology.
Oh, I
didn't know, and especially with the Quiche Mayans.
Okay, yeah.
Bats have a big thing with their religious.
Well, there are a lot of caves down there, so that doesn't surprise me that there would be a lot of bat activity.
Yeah, and there's also different cultures think that bats are either the souls of the dead.
Yeah, I heard that.
Or. And again, I think this is a place in Germany. They believe that bats contain the souls of criminals and evil people.
Oh, would it be like you'd be reincarnated
I guess,
as a bat?
but again, like white people, bats are bad. Not white people, bats are good. They can be like the soaring spirits of your ancestors.
That are coming back to visit.
But if you're white... They're like the souls of criminals and deviants. It's very, very strange.
For all of the power that white people have, white people sure are scared of everything.
I know, and it's kind of funny, but anyway, there are...
Scared white people, the most dangerous thing on earth.
How bats came into Halloween lore.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I guess so.
So there we go.
Fabulous. Oh my God, I'm so obsessed with that hair thing, though.
I love it. I have these visions of these weird oily, I envision maybe a big hair into a flower pot with a knot on top of real greasy hair.
Oh my God.
With all these bugs going around.
Well, you have have stories like Rapunzel with her long-ass hair. I mean, would her hair have been clean?
I'm sure it would have been this oily mess that you couldn't climb up.
Because it was, oh God, can you just imagine
and
how
imagine
ratted
it
and
would
disgusting
be like
it would be?
It would be like a velvet cushion for lice. Because you imagine they would just be like going up the hair.
Oh. They'd be the luckiest bugs in the world because there's so much
And then
filth.
all the bats would swarm around the tower.
And we're back, jumping to 2018, where we dunked on evangelicals and the slutty costume industry. Convenience crotch, indeed. Please enjoy the war on Halloween.
I want to venture briefly into the world of Kirk Cameron.
Who is a Looney Tune.
I thought you were going to say closet case.
But
okay.
I still do think he's extremely attractive.
Ugh.
But
Now, compared to Joey Lawrence?
Oh, no, Joey Lawrence is hotter.
Oh my God.
But I do still think Kirk Cameron is an attractive man, but
Ugh.
completely off the rails.
Ugh.
And probably a closet queen. He probably has 14-year-old butt boys on the side.
Ugh.
Don't they all?
I would imagine so. So, one at a time, we keep finding out that they do. Well, now this was back when he was promoting the movie Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas.
Oh, God.
Which was quite a good film, I'm sure. In fact, I think we really need to see it.
I was just going to say, maybe we need to see it and record us watching it.
I think that's absolutely true. But because it was, the movie was coming out in November, so he was promoting it in October. And so he talked a lot about Halloween, saying that in his opinion, Christians should have the biggest Halloween party on your block. So that everyone will know how fun you are. With your pictures of abortions and things. Anyway, I'll start here. This is a quote from the scholar Kirk Cameron. The real origins have a lot to do with All Saints' Day and All Hallows' Eve. If you go back to old church calendars, especially Catholic calendars, they recognize the holiday All Saints' Day with All Hallows' Eve the day before, when they would remember the dead. That's all tied into Halloween. It's like he's acting like, did you know there's this thing called All Hallows' Eve? It's like, you're not revealing anything to anybody, do you? Well, I guess if people stay away from Catholics, maybe they've never heard of All Saints' Day.
And I bet a lot of the CBN listeners or watchers do not know that.
They probably think that Catholics are Satanists anyway. Now this is an interesting angle he does here. When you go out on Halloween and see all these people dressed in costumes and see someone in a great big bobblehead Obama costume with great big ears and an Obama face, are they honoring him or poking fun? And he answers his own question here. They are poking fun at him. Because he knows. Because he knows what people are doing. Mm-hmm. Early on, Christians would dress up in costumes as the devil, ghosts, goblins, and witches, precisely to make the point that those things were defeated and overthrown by the resurrected Jesus Christ.
Which happened never.
Yeah, I don't...
Never.
Yeah. The costumes poke fun at the fact that the devil and other evils were publicly humiliated by Christ at his resurrection. Because, Christ was all about humiliation.
Oh.
If that's one thing everyone knows about Jesus Christ, he was really into, rubbing your face in it.
Right.
And being like, I'm number one, you suck. That's what Jesus, that's what the Sermon on the Mount was all about. That's what the scriptures say, according to Kirk Cameron, that he publicly humiliated the devil when he triumphed over power and principality and put them under his feet. Over time, you get some pagans who want to go, this is our day, high holy day of satanic church, that this is all about death. But Christians have always known since the first century that death was defeated. That the grave was overwhelmed, that ghosts, goblins, and devils are foolish has-beens who used to be in power, but not anymore. That's the perspective Christians should have.
Oh my god.
Wow. Like, crazy much? Holy shit. Alright, so we're gonna wrap up the Kirk Cameron with this. You should have the biggest party on your block, and you should have the reason for everyone to come to your house before anyone else's house, because yours is the most fun. Because nothing's more fun than a bunch of Christians.
Right?
Halloween gives you a great opportunity to show how Christians celebrate the day that death was defeated. Isn't that Good Friday, though? If he's saying that death was defeated when Jesus humiliated Lucifer by resurrecting, doesn't that mean Easter then?
Easter.
Then shouldn't they be having a big Easter party then?
Well, you would think.
So he wants to celebrate Easter on Halloween, is basically what he's saying.
Yes.
And you can give them gospel tracts.
Oh.
Because what's more fun than that? And here, kids. And tell the story of how every ghost, goblin, witch, and demon was trounced the day Jesus rose from the grave. Clearly no Christians ought to be glorifying death because death was defeated. And that was the point of All Hallows Eve.
Which is
utterly not true.
Completely not true whatsoever.
He is so utterly full of shit.
And he has to know that he's talking out of his ass.
I don't think he does. I think he really believes his bullshit. And
Which
he
means
also...
he's never read... Well, the fact that he was like, well, when these pagans make it sound all about death, because, it sort of is acknowledging death, and it is sort of about death, but not in a negative way.
Not in a, ooh, hooray, death.
Yeah, not glorifying
we love death. Yeah.
So he had to have at least known that.
But I think he got that from one of those gospel tracts that was handed to him by a really fun Christian on Halloween.
And the thing about him, I think he probably does believe all that. Mm-hmm. But that guy we were talking about before, the former Satanist.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I've read anything about a former Satanist or a former Wiccan, or my favorite, the former New Ager. Because there's a lot of former New Agers.
Someone who bought a crystal that was hanging from their rearview mirror and they considered themselves a New Ager.
In their interviews, they were very clearly never pagan, never Wiccan, never Satanist, never New Agers.
They just bought an Enya album.
They're just saying that to
yeah.
Because it's always what they think it is, which has nothing to do with what it is.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because I know a lot of people that have given up Christianity, Mormonism, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah. Way more than that.
Became Wiccan or Buddhist or whatever.
Right.
But you don't really hear about people that were really involved in those communities that give that up and become Christians.
Like, they might be a troubled teenager who did drugs and listened to heavy metal, and then one day they decided to go to church. But that doesn't mean they were a Satanist.
Like Blackie Lawless.
Like Blackie Lawless from Wasp. Yes. In case anyone is inspired by Kirk Cameron's words, Through my research, I came upon a website called, and I'm sure you'll all want to go look this up, Equipping Godly Women, which is kind of a mommy blog about how to be the best Christian you can be and how to raise your children in the most Christian way possible. And you can imagine they have a lot of opinions about Halloween. Mm-hmm. And I was really excited to hear that they had this article, Halloween is a Ministry Opportunity, 5 Creative Ideas. So if you want to do what Kirk Cameron says and throw the biggest Halloween party and something that kids will really get into, these bitches have some great ideas. Now, I'm not gonna go into all of their shit. I'm just gonna kind of, I will say this. Every time Halloween rolls around, we as Christians have a choice. Do we stay quiet and just go on with our day as though it's just another day? Are we loud and vocal about how evil the day is and how everyone who participates is a horrible sinner?
Oh my god.
Or do we find ways to be the salt and light in the midst of a dark, dark world? Don't they sound nice?
Oh. No.
No.
They don't.
But if you do plan on participating, our family does, why not do it in a God-honoring way? In a way that takes the spotlight off Satan and puts it right back on God where it belongs. After all, who says Satan gets his own day? Not me. Nope. October 31st is just as great a day to glorify God as any.
Oh, but it has nothing to do with Satan.
Of course not. Here we go, though. Ready to use Halloween for good? Dress up as a biblical figure or concept.
Oh, okay.
So you can just dress up as Jesus, Joseph, or Mary, an angel, a wise man, or a king, or a shepherd, or a sheep. Dress up as a sheep. What a great... Right. The kids will really love that. And they'll totally understand what you're doing.
But I would also be willing to bet money that if evangelicals saw kids walking around dressed like Jesus, Joseph, and Mary, they would probably get really pissed off.
Oh my god.
Because they would totally think it was mocking it.
Oh, how totally. Totally.
They would totally get mad.
Now, this, though, because remember, these are creative ideas. You can get into things like, now these are so funny. They're really, really funny. The Holy Spirit. A ghost costume with extra holes.
Oh, look, yes, okay.
Noah's Ark. You can dress all the kids up as different animals. And then you dress as a boat, I guess.
Oh, God.
One of the 10 plagues. You can cover yourself with boils.
See, that would actually be kind of cool. To have, a group of people we could go as the 10 plagues.
I do love the plagues. I think they're fabulous. Someone could be a frog. Someone could be a locust.
Wow. Okay.
Now, I mentioned trunk or treating before, and I guess this is going to kind of explain what the fuck that is.
Yeah, I've never even heard of it.
Well, it's a churchy thing, of course. Invite new families, trunk or treating. Is your church hosting a trunk or treat this Halloween? Why not invite one of the families in your neighborhood to go with you? Because they hate you, that's why. Oh no, they're not actually explaining it. You fucking bitch. She goes on and on and on. I thought she was going to explain it. I'm so sorry. I thought she was going to explain it. She just keeps saying how great it is to invite other people. This is an especially great idea if you happen to know a single working mother or a mother with disabilities who won't be able to take her children trick-or-treating. You can offer to bring her kids along too, or all go together and chat on the way. But she doesn't explain what a trunk or treat is.
Oh, God.
Maybe we'll save trunk or treat for next year.
Yes.
All right, number 3. This is something Kirk Cameron would really be excited about. Pass out Christian goodies to trick-or-treaters.
Because, yeah, it's so popular.
If you're going to hand out candy, you might as well hand out a few tasteful tracts as well.
Oh my God.
Sure, handing out tracts may not be the most effective evangelism tool. It's better to take the time and develop a relationship, not just hand people a piece of paper. But apparently they do sometimes work, and it beats not saying anything at all. And then this is interesting, though. One note, though, if you're going to hand out tracts, please get kid-friendly ones. But if it's scripture, shouldn't it all be kid-friendly?
I guess.
Shouldn't they hear all of the good words?
But I bet there's probably tracts that are designed to be they probably mention fornication and pornography.
I used to collect
and
them.
abortion. So maybe if they mention things like that,
Or Samson gouging his eyes out.
Yeah.
Or things, If you can't find any good tracts, you can always go with Christian stickers, pencil, little games, or books.
That's what I'm going to give out this year. I'm going to go get little rainbow He Is Risen stickers.
Oh my God.
Do you remember those?
Oh my God.
The little rainbow said, He Is Risen, and there'd be a little white cross on it. Do you remember?
Oh my God, yes! And this is interesting, though. I do appreciate the fact that these GodMoms are saying this. Do not give out tracts instead of candy, but in addition to it. Well, I'm really glad that they're not keeping the kids away from candy, because that would be really cunty.
Yeah.
It's like giving out toothbrushes. It's like, fuck you. Teach your children about the darkness. You mean that great English rock band,
right.
The Darkness, that I love so much? No, of course not. As Christian parents, we do need to talk to our own children about the less pretty parts of Christianity.
What, like everything about it?
Well, yeah, all the pretty parts, like the sex scandals and things like that. Halloween's the perfect time to talk about things like the devil, demons, spiritual warfare. Although I do like this. With younger children, you might simply share how the ghosts and goblins they see aren't real. But there are bad things out there in the world. I guess the people dressed as them. Superheroes might not be real, but witches actually are, and they're not like what you might think. In parentheses, they're not green, and they don't wear black pointy hats. Of course not. Those are alewives.
Right.
Check our Halloween episode from last year if you want to know what an alewife is. Okay. If your children are older and you're feeling brave, you can take your children to something called a judgment house.
Oh, I love that.
The Christian alternative to haunted houses, judgment houses portray gruesome and graphic scenes and situations in an attempt to share the real evils of the world and bring people to Christ.
No, it's meant to frighten the shit out of kids so you can control them. That's
exactly.
What it's meant to do.
You get them young enough that they're just like, okay, I promise I'll never, ever, ever do anything, because you're showing them, like, mutilated bodies and stuff.
But it would be kind of fun, like, when I was talking to Steve about that concept on the phone yesterday, and I've read about how they do, abortions.
Uh-huh.
And I've read about how they do, like, scenes from hell and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
But I wonder, do they have somebody, like totally insane and covered in scabs and stuff is dying of syphilis? Because that might be kind of exciting.
Do they have...
being against fornication.
Is there a butt-fucking exhibit?
I know.
Because there really should be a whole room that's all about
sodomy.
butt stuff.
Yeah, all about sodomy. Yep.
Because what kind of judgment house would it be if there wasn't a butt stuff room? Oh my goodness. All right. Number five. Get to know your neighbors. Yeah, I think they already know who you are, lady. That's why you don't know them yet, because they're avoiding you.
Right.
Halloween is also a great time to simply get to know your neighbors. Take your kids trick-or-treating at their houses while your kids are dressed as Jesus. And a plague of locusts. Have them trick-or-treat at your house. Host a neighborhood get-together complete with a bonfire and yummy treats. It's up to you. Just do something. Like Kirk Cameron says.
Isn't a bonfire
a little
on
pagan?
Halloween night Satanist?
I would say so.
I think that's like Satan.
Satan? Oh my God. Oh my Lord. Even if you don't have a good chance to share the gospel on Halloween night, which is completely fine, it is a good chance to start building real relationships with those around you. Not just to make them your missions project, but to get to know them and love them, just like Jesus would.
Oh, isn't that special?
See, because they're mommies.
But it's all about missions!
Missions!
Oh, God. I've always wanted to go to one of those Christian haunted houses, though.
My nephew went to one.
Was it fabulous?
I don't know. He was very young.
Oh.
He was
I've
like maybe
wanted,
14
I just
or 15.
I couldn't handle the people.
It fucking disgusts me that his parents would let him go.
Mm-hmm.
It really infuriates me. But he's
I'd
almost
love to
30
go to
now.
one
It
just
would
to
be
see it.
It would be really interesting to get his perspective on it now.
But we couldn't handle the people, though, huh?
I don't know. We might, we could go incognito.
Oh my gosh.
Like when I went to see Last Temptation of Christ, and my friend brought some, because of course there were protesters out in front of the theater.
Yes.
And he brought some poster board and markers, and he made a sign, and he went out there and stood right in the middle of them, except that his sign said, like, you know, I'm actually going to see the movie.
I know.
And he just stood there right in the middle of all those assholes and just pretended he was one of them just to kill some time before the movie started. It's like, you know, it could be done.
I've never actually seen that movie. Is it actually good?
Oh, I loved it. My mom loved it, too.
I'm intrigued by it.
My mom loved it, too, and she taped it off of HBO, and then she was really, really pissed off because my sister taped Pet Sematary over it.
That's kind of fabulous. Pet Sematary is actually one of the few horror movies that actually scared me. Like,
Oh,
I
really?
had trouble sleeping after I saw that movie.
Wow. I should probably see it
It's
at some point. I don't know why I haven't.
Good. But there's this scene of, like, you know, the kid comes back from the dead, which is cool and creepy and weird, but what really freaks me out is he's, like, he's underneath the bed, and I don't know if it's the mother or the father, but their feet are, like, sticking off the bed, and the kid comes up from underneath the bed and cuts the Achilles tendon with a scalpel.
No!
And that freaked me out to this day.
Oh my god, I can't.
This day, I can't sleep with my feet hanging off the bed. If they're off the bed, they have to be covered up because of that scene in that movie.
Anything happening to your Achilles tendon, it's just like that's like the worst
Yeah,
thing.
it was just the kid just like...
Oh no! Oh no! That's awful. Ew. Ew. Oh my god.
You know, it's Halloween to mention that, right?
There's a site called Yandy. Yandy. And they basically specialize in slutty costumes. And I highly recommend everyone just go peruse. I mean, they have other clothes. But the costume section is...
So it's like the slutty pirate...
Oh, many different.
The slutty nerd. Yeah,
the slutty cop. The slutty woman dressed as Donald Trump. They have two different ones.
Wow.
One with hot pants and one with long pants. But it's like the tie is always way too short.
Wow.
But it's real. It's just there's so much stupid. But I will say that the Yandy Brave Red Maiden costume that retails for $64.95, or it did. Basically what this is a Handmaid's Tale chick, but with more leg, with like a mini dress, with like a thing, like a cape, so that your legs are totally exposed. And I guess it's a little, I guess there's some boob showing and a little hat.
Now, did it get banned because it offended people?
Oh, yeah, because people went completely insane. I'm going to read the description. An upsetting dystopian future has emerged where women no longer have a say. However, we say be bold and speak your mind in this exclusive Brave Red Maiden costume, featuring a red mini dress, a matching cloak with attached hood, and a white bonnet headpiece. Pantyhose not included.
And who would buy that? Like, who would want to dress up like one of the women from that movie?
It's
I guess that's from the series, huh?
From the series.
Because the movie's old.
Right. It's because of the series.
Oh, give me a break.
And I want to point out that underneath the pictures it says, "Everybody own your sexy." It's really quite dumb. But I will say that when I was looking around the rest of the website, I noticed a few other costumes. Well, for example, there's a lot of animal ones. There's a whole category of animal.
Of course.
And it's all basically little furry hat, little furry, like, raver boot tops. This is supposedly a furry monkey costume. And all I really have to say about the deluxe furry monkey costume is, you know, this lady doesn't have a furry monkey, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, totally.
There's no way any of the women on this website have furry monkeys. Now, next to her, I have printed out a picture of the Yandy sexy poop emoji costume.
Oh my god.
Which is a shit brown bodysuit with a plush poop emoji appliqued to the front.
Stupid. But it's like, it goes along with like all those... Okay, so you know how you go to Spencer's and you look at those t-shirts?
Yeah.
the things that say, like, I live for pussy or whatever.
Oh, the stuff that no one would actually wear.
And then you're like, oh my God, I would not even be seen with somebody wearing one of those t-shirts.
Right.
And what I did see one time at the mall.
Oh my God.
I saw a guy with 2 girls.
Yeah.
And I want to say they were late teens. Not young teens, but 17, 18, 19, somewhere around there.
Right.
And they were just hanging around with this guy. And he was wearing a t-shirt that said, "The only job I need is a blowjob." And he was wearing that t-shirt in public.
Oh.
And 2, he was hanging out with 2 girls and obviously thought it was fine and probably thought it was funny.
Oh my God.
But there's a whole bunch of Halloween costumes.
That are kind of around
like dressing up like the poop emoji.
Right. Who are these people?
Like, who the fuck would dress up like a giant penis?
Right. Oh, when I worked in the costume shop, we had like a dick head rubber headpiece that you would wear so that your head looked like the head of a dick. I know,
and who would wear that? Now, I do understand women dressing up like big vaginas, because that can be subversive. Because that
upsets people.
Because it's so subversive and it upsets people, and that's usually done in a really feminist
I love
way,
that. Yeah.
Which is, I totally get that.
But a dick is a dick.
But dressing up like a big penis, or there's any number of those sexually, I can't even think of any of them now, but
full body condoms, we sold those.
Oh yes, the condom costumes, and there's you can dress up like a beer bong. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, I know.
Or a toilet, you can dress up like a toilet. I just don't know.
Speaking of toilet, though, toilet is something I thought of when I was looking at another Yandy website costume, the sexy Alexander Hamilton costume for women.
Oh.
It should. Now, I will say, I thought it was pretty fucking hot. And I personally, I would love to play George Washington in Hamilton because I would look really good in his uniform. And also he has some of the best songs. But I really love like the colonial garb, that period. I love those uniforms and stuff. And so this costume, but the thing is, it's like it's got this unitard, this like, full body thing, and then you have like a little mini version of the coat and like a little ascot-y ruffle front thing and little cuffs and whatever. But the problem is, because you're wearing this full body thing, all I could think of when I looked at the picture was, what if you have to pee? Mm-hmm. Because most slutty costumes, you're barely wearing anything at all. You just pull the little booty shorts down and you're done, But you would literally have to take off the entire costume, all the accessories, in order to be able to take off the thing. And all I gotta say is, because you're just it's just an accident waiting to happen.
And we have worn costumes like that. And they're a pain in the ass.
And you really have to plan your evening.
We have worn costumes like that and they're a pain.
But I will say, regarding the sexy Alexander Hamilton costume, if someone was wearing that and just desperately needed to pee, and just could not get out of the costume.
Is the crotch covered?
It's a bodysuit.
Oh, it's a bodysuit.
It's a full body bodysuit.
Nothing over. Oh, I thought it was like a bodysuit with stuff hanging off of it or something.
The only stuff is on top. The rest of it, there's boot covers, and then there's like a jacket.
Oh, because I thought maybe there could be like maybe a little Velcro or something.
The big lie of the convenience crotch is what it's called. The convenience crotch.
Doesn't it still get? No, it probably does not.
Of course it does.
Dry.
It doesn't stay dry at all. No. You cannot. I really believe that men design these things because convenience crotch is not a thing. It's never quite in the right place. It's never long enough to fully open, and you can't. There's no way to like hold it open. Yeah. It just doesn't work. And to be honest, if someone's gonna mistime their drinking and and suddenly just have to let go in their sexy Alexander Hamilton costume. I don't want to be in the room where it happens. For the Hamilton fans out there.
But the good thing about spandex, it doesn't show wet.
That color does.
Okay, because
this was not shiny black.
Okay, because a lot of spandex doesn't show wet. So.
Yeah, like my Gene Simmons costume was a very shiny black, and it probably wouldn't have.
Mm-mm.
We did get rained on in them that one time.
Yeah, and spandex doesn't show wet, which is a good thing. I mean, at least the black doesn't.
No.
You know.
But yeah, that's an important tip. People just, as someone who used to sell Halloween costumes as my job, and that was always, I would talk people out of buying shit a lot. Because it's like, are you going to a party? Are you going to drink? Or do you really think this is going to work? You're going to put that down and leave it somewhere. Do you really want to spend $10 on this thing that's not going to make it home with you? I was very good at talking people out of shit that was going to make them miserable later. And, please don't pee in our costumes.
Yeah, and I do gotta say, I have worn unitards many, many times over the years for various costumes.
Absolutely.
And just to be clear, no, I have never peed in one.
No.
I have observed if you spill things on your unitard, it
right.
does not show.
Of course that's what he means.
Just to be clear.
Yes. Because we always plan our liquid intake.
And I think had that ever happened, I would probably shamelessly share the story.
Oh yeah, we would have heard that already.
But yes, that has never happened.
Yeah, even to the point where when you tried to go to the bathroom in your Paul Stanley costume and you couldn't because it meant pulling the front. Remember when you had to pee in the parking lot?
Yeah, because I totally had to take it off.
You had to take the top part off and pull the front part down.
I had to totally take it off.
And put your flop your junk out over it.
They didn't have any stalls that were open in the men's.
Right.
And there was a line that was like forever.
Right.
Remember, there was no line in the women. And remember, you came with me and you were
no, there's always a line in the women's
But it wasn't
restroom.
like the men's, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And remember, you went in there with me and they were like, is it okay if he comes in here because he has to take this whole thing off? He's just going to run in the stall.
Right.
And all the women were like, okay. And then the security followed us in, remember?
So we had to leave, and that's why he had to pee in the parking lot.
So I could piss in the parking lot because...
I just had to guard while he wedged himself between two cars and peed in the parking lot.
And it was like... And I remember you explaining to
how is this more
take
legal?
This whole costume off, so
right. Just let him be.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoy our show, please take a moment to rate and review us wherever you listen.
If you send us a screenshot of your review, we'll send you a Bitchin' Boutique sticker. Everyone loves stickers.
Please subscribe or add us to your favorites wherever you get your podcasts.
Subscribers get new episodes first and are also more attractive.
Drop us a line anytime at pitneyandamelia@gmail.com.
We'd love to hear from you.
And it's weird because back then, I could have sex in front of strangers, but I couldn't pee in front of strangers. How does that make any sense? You know? How does that make sense? The mind is a weird thing. Yeah, all about sodomy. Yep.